So, no, I wouldn't say I have a passion for HR.
Welcome back to Human Resources for the People. It's a human capital revolution. The new California budget bill is including a provision that's going to reinstate the Industrial Welfare Commission, which is pretty interesting, going to impact a lot of employers in the Golden State. And it means that it's a long past concept of the wage board or the welfare commission, something I don't know, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. It's old. There were quite a few of them, for example, during the World War II, World War One, and the interwar years, as well as up until about the 60s, I believe. But the California legislators are crafting a state budget for the fiscal year that's coming up in 2024, and in it is the reinstatement of the Industrial Welfare Commission for the state of California. When that existed back in the day, it regulated wages, hours, and working conditions of employees, and was means that there's going to be a kind of a more burdensome state on the businesses with respect to minimum wage, overtime, rest periods, et cetera, et cetera. In addition, they could probably get involved in other things that are, that were passe back in the day, back when the Industrial Welfare Commission was vibrant, but but is now interesting to the people who make the laws, like independent contractor status, joint employment, leave of absence, etc. And frankly, I think that they could get involved in situations such as diversity, racism, um, and other things of that nature, right? So this Industrial Welfare Commission could kind of bloom into something a lot more significant than what it used to be in the past. Um, and they're looking to do this. The idea of this is going to mostly come from the idea that administrative action from a specific organization, from a specific commission, is more beneficial to the lawmakers. And frankly, in my opinion, this is the biggest problem with the United States today. Lawmakers have passed off law making to interested bodies, to unelected bodies, and these people are effectively passing laws. And many of these laws are unpalatable for the normal person, unpalatable for the lawmakers, or unpalatable for the normal person at least, but they achieve the lawmakers in without getting any blowback on them. All right. They're not actually writing the laws. These unelected bureaucrats are the ones that are making them. And as a result, they can wipe their hands clean and they still get the work that they need done. And that's what the Industrial Welfare Commission appears to be. All California businesses should be impacted by this. And, there's already been condemnations, including from the California Business Roundtable. Not knowing enough of the history with respect to the Industrial Welfare Commission, I'm curious. So for example, they're putting together $3 million. The California budget bill is providing $3 million for Industrial Welfare Commission to convene industry-specific wage boards and adopt orders specific to wages. And what I imagine, what I get the impression, because I've seen from California and other states, right, but California specifically, that there's a lot of specific and focused industry regulation that is specifically surrounding donations, I assume, and PAC money. For example, if you look at Assembly Bill 5, which was initially an independent contractor bill that outlawed Uber and Lyft, and had a whole bunch of impacts downstream where for example, people who sang at bars, bands who sang at bars became employees of the bar. That was all aimed at a specific industry. And it looks like there's going to be industry specific wage boards here. I get the impression that these industry specific wage boards will be specifically focused around industries that pay the politicians quite a bit of money. Well, specifically the labor unions and so forth, that pay the politicians a significant amount of money. And, as a result, get the interest and capture there. The Industrial Wage Commission in California was first created in 1913 and spent the first 60 years of its existence regulating wages, hours, and conditions of employment of women and children employed in California. And there was more OSHA related workplace safety considerations. But in the 1970s, it started getting overruled by various federal laws like Title VII of the Federal Civil Rights Act, 1964, as well as several others that, frankly, upended the Industrial Welfare Commission. The Industrial Welfare Commission was defunded in 2004 but the wage orders still are in effect and still exist from that time, right? So politicians have not been governing during this period. They have been, kowtowed to a unelected wage board that that has been making conditions from the grave. California Labor Code Section 1178 provides that if after investigation the commission, Industrial Welfare Commission, finds that in any occupation, trade, or industry, the wages paid to employees may be inadequate to supply the cost of proper living, or that the hours or conditions of labor may be prejudicial to the health, morals, or welfare of employees, the Commission shall select a wage board to consider any of such matters and transmit to such wage board the information supporting its findings gathered in the investigation, and such investigation shall include at least one public hearing. And all this means is that it's going to get a lot more difficult to be an employer in California. And, with the politicization of the government, I I don't envy any business that wants to operate out there. It's a tough life. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.